I was beginning to get concerned because he was starting the introduction when I was in high school. So it's quite. Thank you very much for that, Tony. Dr. Paderanga, my former colleague in the cabinet and now chairman of the Development Academy of the Philippines, Board of Trustees. Dr. Tony Calao, President and CEO of the Development Academy of the Philippines. Ambassador Marie Amano, Secretary General of the APO. Dr. Dedeng Mendoza, Senior Vice President for Programs of DAP. Former Secretary, former Senator, Dr. Orly Mercado. Secretary General of the East Regional Organization for Public Administration, and a fellow. He stresses that it's eminent, not imminent, the Development Academy of the Philippines. Dr. Robin Mann, CEO of the Center for Organizational Excellence. Our guests from the Diplomatic Corps, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all of you. You know, speaking about productivity, as I speak here, the NEDA Director General, R.C. Balisacan, is announcing to the media that for the third quarter, the GDP of this country grew by 6%. Yeah. Which makes the Philippines the third fastest growing economy in Asia right now. Now, coming from 5.3 growth in the first quarter, 5.8 growth in the second quarter, and a 6% growth in the third quarter, I think we have the momentum to even grow much faster in the last quarter of the year. Apart from the fact that consumer spending is going to accelerate further because of Christmas, and also because of the preparations for elections. I think an important driver for the last quarter is also the fact that under the proposed salary standardization law for 2015, which I expect Congress to pass before December 19, we have doubled the performance-based bonus for those in the executive department. So guys, 7%. I'd also like to take advantage of this opportunity to acknowledge the support of the Development Academy, because the Department of Budget and Management, and I have my colleagues here, recently was awarded an ISO certification, making it the only national government agency that has been certified in its entirety. In its first try. And what is really more a source of joy is the fact that our regional offices are ranking as high as our central office bureaus and units. So certainly the driving force of governance reform in this bureaucracy is getting its rightful recognition. I'm honored to speak on behalf of President Aquino today. I think you should have introduced President Aquino, not me. And he sends his regrets for not being able to come today. He's in deep preparation for his participation in the coming climate change summit of heads of state in Paris a few days from now. And it's going to be a doubly significant event because of the recent events that hit Paris, as we all know. I think it's even more significant for the Philippines because, as you may have read the papers yesterday, we have been tagged as one of the 5 most climate change vulnerable countries in the world. And in fact, because of that, being the poster boy of climate change mitigation and adaptation, we have been selected as head of a new organization of, I think, initially 20, but they are now 43 countries considered geologically vulnerable. And the Philippines has been asked to head that new aggregation. So therefore, allow me to share with you the President's message for this occasion. 5 years and 5 months ago, when our administration took office, it became clear that one of the biggest challenges we would face was that of productivity, rather the lack thereof. We knew there were many problems. What we didn't know was the depth and breadth to which these problems had penetrated our institutions. We seem to uncover new issues every day, to the point that we thought it would at least be 2 years before the Filipino people would start seeing results. We had promised change. However, given the systems we had inherited, which for the most part were tainted by corruption and inefficiency, that change initially seemed like a distant dream. Complacency and despair were not options. We set about ensuring that we had strong foundations on which to build progress. We cut down on red tape and strengthened spending rules in the process of procurement in order to guard against opportunities for corruption. We reformed our system of budgeting to prevent waste. In this sense, we began the fight against corruption. And we followed it up with efforts to hold erring government officials accountable to our people. To tell you the truth, many of the measures we implemented in those early days were not necessarily innovations. You would probably recognize them under the term, quote-unquote, common sense. Perhaps what can be considered innovative about our administration was the audacity to undertake reform within government itself. Those early reforms set the stage for the government we have today. One that I believe you will agree is far more hardworking and productive than before. In fact, we have even explored new avenues and ways to serve. Perhaps one of the most important examples lies in the way that this government has maximized the use of technology. The Filipino people have been recognized all over the world for being tech-savvy, from being the texting capital of the world. We have now grown to be the social media capital of the world. This simple fact allows government an excellent opportunity to foster greater engagement with the citizenry, and also to emphasize its commitment to transparency and accountability. The Budget ng Bayan website, or the People's Budget, exists precisely to make budget information easily accessible to our people. Its counterpart, Pera ng Bayan website, or the People's Money, provides a venue for Filipinos to report government employees and officials suspected of wrongdoing. The Official Gazette acts as the online repository of executive issuances and announcements, as well as other relevant information. Open Data Philippines is another groundbreaking project as it provides clear, concise, and user-friendly data about government initiatives to any online user. Many government agencies and officials now have a strong online presence and active social media accounts, which allow them to provide a variety of services, from receiving feedback on issues and concerns, to providing timely weather information, to giving alerts on traffic. Specific government agencies have likewise maximized the use of technology in order to ensure access to their services. Our Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, or TESDA, provides online courses in various fields, from tourism to automotive servicing to web information on job openings and vacancies, a valuable resource in their search for employment. The Department of Health has the RX Box, a device deployed to isolated communities that can capture medical signals and transmit information like blood pressure and temperature via the internet. Specialists in the Philippine General Hospital are on standby to receive transmitted information and respond with expert advice. These are only a sampling of the changes that have taken place in the Philippine government under our term. By no means are we perfect. By no means are we satisfied with what we have accomplished thus far. What I believe is indisputable is the fact that there has been true positive transformation in the Philippines. The Asian Productivity Organization itself has attested to this through its designation of the Philippines as a center of excellence. For this, we are honored. At the same time, we do not just see our success in these kind of accolades. We see it in the lives of Filipinos, those who are able to prepare for the coming of typhoon thanks to an improved weather forecasting and monitoring systems. Those who are able to gain new knowledge through online courses and thus have the capacity to be better employed. Those who have taken it upon themselves to engage government and participate in uplifting the entire country for the betterment of the many. Conferences like this help us to share our knowledge, our ideas, and our best practices with each other towards institutionalizing a culture of meaningful excellence and innovation in government. Thus, it is my sincere hope that all our participants here make the most of this event, that you listen to each other and forge partnerships, all in the name of serving our people. It is this brand of service that will spur our people to choose the same come next year's elections. It is this brand of service that will enable the Philippines to reach greater heights. Thank you, and may you have a successful conference.
Thank you very much, Secretary Abad. At this point, may I request